Good morning. Wow. I cannot believe all the issues I had. I wasn't here, and then no internet. It was crazy. All right, let me see if I'm up on my, yes, I am. So I've got that up. All right, now let me see if I'm on my laptop. Oh, I am. Yay. All right, so I'm good. Got everything up. I hope you're having a great weekend. I have quite a few things I want to do. We'll see what I get done. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Something comes up. But I'm crossing my fingers. I did get several products, not a whole lot, from the upcoming mini. I had to order stuff for my 12 projects of Christmas and my 12 weeks of Christmas. So I had to kind of think ahead for some of that and order some of that. It was kind of hard because it wasn't a whole lot that I was interested in, but I did manage to find one set. And then they also had the scenic paper. I don't know what else you call it. We've had it before. We had On the Horizon, Meandering Meadow. There was another one in there somehow. I don't remember what it was, but those are some of the ones that we've had. And this catalog had one. It was called Splendid Autumn. And I need fall cards every once in a while, and I have leaf sets. I'm not going to order another set. Hey, Carol. Hope Connecticut's as nice as it is down here. We have cooler weather. It's not real cold, but it's comfortable. So I hope you had that also, and it's not real cold yet. I won't buy stuff just because it's new. I have, when I look at it and I go, well, I have that. It's almost the exact same thing. And the leaves are there. And I have a set that I have used in the past, and I'm going to use it. So I'm getting rid of that. Okay. So I'm just going to, we're going to get a little warmer next week also. But that's typical for us. We have horrible summer, fall's fall, and then we go back to summer again. It's crazy weather here, but that's what makes it interesting. So anyway, I'm going to play with the Splendid Autumn today. And I went back and found a card that I did that I absolutely loved with the Meandering Meadow DSP. And I'm going to recreate it using the Splendid Autumn paper. So with that, I'm going to get ready and flip this down. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes because I don't want anybody getting sick. So here we go. I'm going to flip it down and get it set. And I'll tell you when to open. Don't open till I say. Oh, it didn't flip. Hold on. There it goes. It clicked, but it didn't flip. All right. You can open them now. And I'm sorry, I cannot get rid of all of this. I can't shrink it down. I've tried and it just doesn't like it. So, all right. So as I said, the Splendid Autumn DSP, I call it a scenic type paper because they're scenes. It's 6x6, which can be a challenge, but there are some ways to use this paper. All right. So I'm going to go through real quick. I mean, this is great fall leaves. This would be great for one that you cut it into 3 panels and you open it up and you see it. It's like a Z-fold. That would be pretty on there. This is a favorite of mine, but I love daisies. These could be sunflowers, but they look more like daisies to me, color-wise. And the back is a solid color. This one is a pretty meadow. It looks more summer to me. than anything else. Here's some more fall leaves in the trees. I think they use the same designs basically and just change the colors, but that's all right. This is a gorgeous sunset, I say, but it could be a sunrise. Depends on what you want it to be. This reminded me of, you know, a long lane like in Gone with the Wind, where you had that lane that you drove down with all, well, they rode the horses down, but with all the trees. There's that one. This one is Queen Anne's lace, and I really love Queen Anne's lace. I got to figure out a way to use this to really showcase it, because I think it's an interesting piece. Okay, here's another one. This one has, that to me looks like a pumpkin, so I'm going to say pumpkins in a patch, but they could be flowers too. It just depends on how you look at it. Here's some more flowers. These are like a daisy, but they're purple, and daisies come in all colors. Could be coneflowers, but they're not really shaped. This is shaped like a coneflower. That one isn't. Coneflowers is more up, I think. Here's another sunrise, sunset. I think it's a sunset just by the colors of it. And then this is the one that I chose to use for today. And there's the back of it. So let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to show you the card. Now, this is a card I created several months ago, and I really liked the layout. So that's what I'm going to use for today's card. All right, so I've pulled in my trimmer. All right, now my trimmer was acting up. I have some gouges in my track here, and it's kind of catching, so we'll see. I want this piece for the main panel, so I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to cut it, and my first cut is going to be 2 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to cut it. See, there it goes. I may have to work from the bottom up. All right, don't get rid of this because we're going to use it. Now, this is the piece I want, and I want more of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I need it to be 4 1/8 long. So let's see, there's 4 1/8. See, I want more, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this down, and I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to turn it around and cut it at 4 1/8. And the reason I want more of the, this to show is to put a sentiment up there. So that's why I did it that way. So there's our first piece. These pieces that go behind it, I can use these pieces, or I can use the back. So let me see which I like better. I think I'm going to use this, and I think there's enough that I can get that out of it. And the reason I chose that is there's not a lot of green in there, and this would have to go this way. And it just doesn't, I don't like it. So I'm not going to do it. All right, so this needs to be 1 5/8. All right. See, I can go down, but I can't go up. And then the next piece needs to be 2 1/8. So there's that. And then another 2 1/8 because I need 2 of them. And that's all the cutting I need to do, because I cut my other pieces ahead of time because I didn't want to waste time. All right, so there's the pieces. I'm going to mount this on Cajun Craze. It just looked like Cajun Craze in there. Let's see what it says color-wise. Is there a pumpkin pie? Oh, it does say pumpkin pie. Let me try pumpkin pie and see what it looks like on pumpkin pie. All right. Now, I like it on the Cajun Craze. And I'm going to keep them all consistent. So let me put my pieces together. I'm going to just slide them over and do my backs of all of them. All right, so now this is going to go on like so. All right, don't stick it down until you're happy with it. And because this one has the white in it, I'm going to put it down here because most of that will be hidden and we'll still see the other. And then this piece. And I may change my mind. Who knows? All right. There. It looks a little crooked. I do that all the time. I need to remember not to push down until I see if it's even. That looks a little better. All right, there. Now, I want to stamp my sentiment before I put this on. So I went to my favorite, Go-To Greetings, and I found the Thinking of You in here. And that's the one I'm going to use. I'm going to stamp it with Cajun Craze. All right, so I'm going to go up here, and I'm taking a chance that it's on there straight. It's a little crooked. I should have stamped it off first. I always say, no, I've put it on there straight, but I didn't. All right, now let's get the card together. I am using a white card base. I do use a lot of white cardstock as my basis because then I don't need to add a panel inside of white. So I just like the way it looks. And I decided to mount this on Mossy Meadow. I tried a couple and it just seemed to pop better with the Mossy Meadow. So I have my layer of Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to add on here. Okay. And then my two pieces need to go in the top and the bottom. All right, so and they go on flat. So I'm going to add some tape to the back of it. All right, now, let's see. And I'm leaving, it's not 1/4 of an inch and it's not 1/8 of an inch. It's in between. And I'm trying to make them as even as I can. Now this one is going to go on with dimensionals. So I'm going to pull in my dimensionals and add those. I've cut a bunch, so I should be okay. All right, that came off that one. All right, and then I put them around the edge and then I go back and I hit the top and bottom in the middle. So it gives it lots of support. Now I'm going to take my backs off and I have to tell you my pokey tool has been flicking them. It might be operator error, but that one's already off. So I have this one and this one left. See? Don't know if it's me or what. All right. And then this is in the middle. And there we have it. And one of the other products in that collection, I didn't get the stamp set, but I did get the gems, are the faux glass dots. And let's see what they look like on there and add some faux glass dots. All right. And it comes in 3 colors. It looks like pumpkin pie. I don't think that's crushed curry. Is there a wild wheat? Yeah, that's probably wild wheat. That one could be Mossy Meadow. That's Cajun Craze, but what other green is in there? It's not Garden Green. It's got to be Mossy Meadow, that one. So let's see. I'm going to very carefully take this off because a lot of times the gems will pop off and I don't want it. I'm going to use the Cajun Craze. All right, so let me get my take your pick tool. And oops, well, I'm going to put one there. And let's get a small one. I'm not having luck lately with that take your pick tool. There's that. And that. And then I'm going to go down at the bottom. I have to do a card for a shoebox swap. Hey, Sharon. Oh, thanks, Barb. Oh, hey, Linda. Haven't seen your, well, I've seen you on your posts on Facebook, but I kind of missed you. I'm glad you're back. Okay, so there's an idea for that one. Now I have another idea, and let me get that one. I need another piece of paper. You know what? I think I'm going to use the daisies. Where are my daisies? There they are. The daisies. All right. Now, I don't have anything cut for this, so we'll have to go with it and see what we have. I need a white card base, I'm thinking. I may change my mind. You never know. But at least with a white card base, I don't have to change anything or put anything inside. And this is going to be a landscape card. Let me move these out of the way so we can see. And this one, I'm trying to think. All right. The yellows in this are crushed curry. Let's see what crushed curry looks like with it. I'm gonna have to get a new piece because I don't have any in my little container. Nope, don't like the crushed curry. Now there is some blue and some purple. Let's try the purple. What's the purple? Fresh freesia. This is what I do all the time as I try and decide what I'm going to do. No, let's try balmy blue. I may go back to the crushed curry, but we'll see. Here's the balmy blue. No. Still not it. You know what? I'm going to try something a little different because I see a darker purple in here. Let's see what, and I have to try this. Let's see what it looks like on Highland Heather. See, I like that better. What do you guys think? I showed you a bunch of different ones. Thanks, Janice. I kind of like the purple. I think I'm going to go with the purple. What do you think? Let me know. I've got to decide on the size of my card anyway. So, or my panel, I should say. Let me get my ruler. I'm doing some measuring. Did I tell you guys this trick that I do? I know I've shared it, but I don't know if I've shared it here. If I see a card I like, but it doesn't have measurements, okay, 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. What I do is I take my, you like the purple too. Great, guys, thanks. I take the card and I do it on my laptop. I blow it up. I can kind of show you. Let me see if I can show you on my iPad. Okay, I need here. All right, let me see. I need to go to, what is that? That was Meandering Meadow. Hang on. I gotta find the post. Ah, there it is. Oh, darn it. This is the one I need. So what I do, and I use this one because that's the card and it doesn't do well. I take and I enlarge my image. All right, and that's too big. Then I take a ruler and I measure. Oh, no, that wasn't too big. And I get it as close as I can get it to 5 1/2 since it's this way. That's close. Then I can get my other measurements. So I take this one and it's 3 1/2. And this is the background. And then I do this one and it's, what is it? It's 4 well, it can't be 4 1/4. Okay, what's this? See, that's 4 1/2, so I have to take it down by 4. So it's 3 1/2 by 4. So my background piece of paper, I'm going to just set that aside because I'm going to go through the whole process to show you how I do it. I'm going to take this. So I need it 3 1/2. So I'm going to cut this at 3 1/2 by 4. All right. And I'll go back and get my other pieces afterwards. All right. Then I need this piece because it's the layer. So I'm going to take this one and this is, oops, go away. This is 4, and remember it's off just a little. I would say 2 3/4 because remember this is bigger than it needs to be. So that's how I use or figure out how to do my cards. So it was 2 1/4, wasn't it? Oh, shoot. I totally forgot. I'm going back to my computer because, all right, now, oops, wrong way. That's close. So this is 4 by 2 3/4. All right, 2 3/4. I got to go up by 4. And now I have the pieces, my layering pieces. So I hope that little tip helps you. I find cards I love all the time, and they don't always give measurements, so that's how I get around it. All right, so this piece is going to go on here, like so. Let me fold this so I can make sure, because I want to make sure I cut my DSP the right way. All right. Okay. Yes, that way. All right. Now, so this, I need a strip that has to go across. So this has to be, I'm going to cut it this way. So where's my trimmer? All right, this was 4, but what is this? I don't remember. 2, 3.5, 3.5. So I'm going to cut this down to, I'm going to give myself a good border. So I'm going to do 3 1/4. All right, and that was 4, so 3 3/4. All right, so there's that. Now I need a piece of white for this, and it's, let me see if I have a scrap. You know what I have? Oh, will this one work? Woohoo! I think it will. And this is 2 3/4 by 4, 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. All right. All right, so I've got that. All right, so there's that, and there's that one. All right, and then there was a piece that went across the middle. What's the back of this? Oh, no. I want purple, I think. Let me see which one has purple on the back. Ooh, that one. All right. I'm going to cut my piece, and it looks like it's 1 inch, but let me make sure. Let's see. No, it's 1 1/4. I'm going to cut it from the bottom because then I still have all of that to use. So I'm going to cut it at 1 1/4. I got to go this way. See, it's catching there. All right. And it's by 4 1/4. All right, so there's that. Oh, I cut it wrong. Oh, darn. I know you were yelling at me. Oh, well. 1 1/4. It needs to be 5 1/4. Oh, I still got plenty there. All right, let me go 5 1/4. All right, and then I need that. And this needs to be 5 1/4, and it's not. So let me grab another piece of paper. Let's see, do I have a scrap in here? I do. So 5 1/4, so I'm going to go 1 1/4, so I'm going to go 1 1/2, and I'm going to go by 5. If I don't like it, I'll cut it down again. All right, so I have my pieces. Now I'm going to, ooh, I just lost a light. It just fell off. All right, hang on, I gotta turn it off because it fell in my trash can. All right, I'll just set it down and clean it back up later. I don't know why that one light doesn't want to stay up there. All right, sorry guys, it's gonna be a little, well, it doesn't look too dark to you. It looks dark to me. All right, let's get our card put together. Oh, and I'm running out of tape. I might have to switch to glue because I'm not going to spend time changing it. Yep, I'm out. I got to fix it. So I will go to the glue. Hey, Kim. All right. No, I was thinking, oh, maybe the flowers would be good, but I don't like it. All right, so this goes on here, like so. And there's enough darker purple in there that it matches the Highland Heather. So just because it says it's a color doesn't mean you have to use it. Sometimes a darker color looks better with it. That one said Fresh Freesia. It didn't mention Highland Heather at all. Can't get that in. All right, my Just a Note. Okay, the one that I did was, oh, thanks, Kim. We debated about what color to use. All right, let me see. I'm gonna do a flower. So let me get my daisy punch. I will never get rid of my daisy punch. Never, ever, ever. I have both of them. I don't use the big one much, but I use this one all the time. I'm gonna do, let's do crushed curry for that because it matches the daisies. I can't think, I gotta get a piece out. All right, and I'm gonna do 3. 1, my crushed curry is really thick, heavy cardstock, so you really have to squeeze to get it out. Have you guys noticed that with some of your cardstock, that some is thicker and heavier than the others? Now this one, and I'm gonna do, let's see, I usually do espresso, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. So let me pull out a piece and see in the middle. See, I'm thinking it should be, let's look at Cajun Craze instead. And see, I'm trying to match the flowers. I think I'm gonna go with Cajun Craze. Not what I would have done, but you never know. All right, so I'm just gonna throw all this stuff behind me and get it straight later. Now this is a retired punch. It was in a set. It's about 3/8 of an inch, and I find it to be the perfect size for in the center of the daisies. All right, now I'm doing all this because I want to decide what sentiment I'm going to put on here. I'm thinking Just a Note because I love Just a Note. I want to give some emphasis to my flowers, so I'm going to go get my crushed curry and my dauber. And I'm going to just do the tips, just to kind of highlight them. All right. And I'm bending them, but that's okay because I'm going to, come on. I'm going to, I don't know what you call it, where you taken, I don't know what it is. I'm going to use my bone folder and curl. That's what it's called. Goodness gracious, I could not think. I need to re-ink my pads. I think I will do that. All right, I've got them all done. I think I might need to do that this afternoon. That'll be a task that I didn't plan on. See? All right, this one I'm going to curl up. So I flipped it over because I've already inked my edges. These are going to go down, so that'll be easy because they're already going down. All right, and this one. All right, now glue dots. I put mine together with glue dots. It works perfect for me. So let me take, this one is a, ooh, that's the one that curls up. I want the one that curls down. Here's one that goes down. So I'm gonna put a glue dot on the back of it. And I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna offset it slightly. Not a lot. All right, so I have some holes. And then this one that curls up is gonna go on top and I'm gonna put it in the middle there. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get my early espresso and I'm gonna ink the edges of that. I have a mess over here I'm stepping over. It knocked down everything when it fell. I must not have the strength to get it up there tight. So I'm just gonna ink the edge up with the early espresso just to give it some interest. And my sponge dauber has had it, so it's going in the trash. All right. Okay, now this I'm gonna put on with a glue dot also. All right, now. And that goes right in the middle. Oh, that looks so nice. All right. And I need a ribbon on this, but let's get this put together as best as I can. All right. So this goes on. This was another card that I did with DSP, and I've been having issues with putting this on. I usually turn it sideways. Well, when I turn it sideways, it goes down crooked, so I'm not turning it sideways. Okay. There's that. Okay. Now, this goes on right about there. Like so. All right. Well, you're not going to see much of the daisy. You know what? I'm going to cut it down because I don't want to hide my daisy. Maybe we won't put a sentiment on there. Ooh, that's what I'm going to do. I will stamp my sentiment here and put my daisy here. There's always a way around it. All right, now I need a sentiment. Where's my just a note? I have the really big one, which I think is going to be too big. No, it's not. Okay. And I think I'm going to use, now this one is a tricky one. I will be stamping, oh, what am I doing? I will be stamping this off. All right. Only because I have a tendency to look at the bottom and this piece throws me off. So let me get scrap paper. You know what? I think I'm going to use early espresso to stamp on it. I may regret it. We'll find out. You never know. All right. See, that ends down. That's still... Okay. There we go. All right. Wish me luck, ladies. I do this all the time when I shouldn't. Oh, not bad, not bad, not bad. Whew. I was worried there. All right, let me put my daisy on. It could be a sunflower, but there's that. I'm going to put another one over here. Take my backs off. All right. And I'm going to put it right there. And I need some gems. Ooh. Wonder if, and I don't know if they're up here because I used them. They may be downstairs. I think they are. I'm thinking the gold sparkle gems. They're downstairs. Let me see. What else do I have? I have this set that has gold in it. Oh, that works. I'll use those. The gold pearls. All right. Now, let me see if I can get this off without too much issue. Ooh, good thing that didn't stick. Well, that's kind of wonky, but hey, it's one of those things. All right, so there are the 2 cards for today. Simple layouts, and I used the Splendid Autumn DSP. Kim, I know you said you liked the purple. There's purple in here. This is Fresh Freesia. It didn't look good, so I pulled in Highland Heather, which I thought was that color, and that's the reason why I went with it. If I'd planned it out ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have put that strip as wide, but that's okay. It works. All right, let me get ready and flip this around. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes. All right. Okay, almost. Hang on. Okay, got it. I'm going to sit down on the edge of my chair. Okay, so 2 ideas. I planned on doing this one, but I finished it so fast that I decided to do this one. And I also showed you how, if you find a card online, to get the measurements, because so often people don't give measurements. They all say, what are the measurements? Hey, now you know how you can get them yourself. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We have gorgeous weather here. Don't know if it's going to rain or not. I didn't see the news last night to see. Yeah, I know, Kim. It's one of those things. This was, again, a card on my blog that I remade, and it's one of those things. But anyway, it's done, and you have an idea. I actually wanted to play with this paper so that I could come up with an idea for a swap for a local demo group, a shoebox swap I'm doing in September. And I got this paper, but I've got to come up with a way to use the paper because I have to do 16 card kits. And I'm not buying more paper just to get the same color. So my DSP is going to be mixed. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you'll join me Wednesday at 2 o'clock. I've changed the time for YouTube Live. It just works out better for people at 2 rather than noon. And I hope you'll join me for YouTube Live. And I will be back here next Saturday unless I have internet issues again. So far, so good. Cross your fingers for me. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.